And this is our third weird sci-fi-esque game that we have coming out really soon. It's this, it's Death Is Us, and it's Death Stranding 2. Like, this is crazy. And apparently there's another one. So we're going to look at that next. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. We have not seen this preview yet either. This is like a turn-based RPG, but it is like, you know, sci-fi. So we're going to check that out next. I heard that this is like a new take on like JRPGs a little bit. It's a bit more of like oh, apparently it's like a, dude, 3.5 hour demo. That's a big ass demo, man. I like that. That is a chunky demo. Okay, I'm excited. Let's see what this is like. That's not a small demo by any means.
A mentor told me that the most important part of any story is surprise.
Okay.
A few years later, a writer I deeply respect wrote that perhaps the difference between good and great writing is technique. Though even that was probably not as important as conviction.
This is another sci-fi fantasy-esque type of game. We have 4 of them. Death Stranding 2. Well, we had Stalker earlier, so I guess technically maybe that even counts. We have Atomfall, which we just saw, and we have Death Is Us, which we saw last night, and now we have Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Dude, us sci-fi fans are eating good.
But what keeps us invested in the story is curiosity, the gap between what we know and what we need to know, the questions that drive us.
This is like a
Combine
Final Fantasy
all
feel.
three and you tend to create something special. Each and every
It's
one
like
of us
steampunk
has played a
Final
game that
Fantasy.
grabbed us from the jump, that connected with us in some unexpected way, a game that surprised us, whose belief in itself was obvious from the first frame, that made us want to explore. I have played a lot of video games, friends, and that feeling is increasingly rare for me, especially in the AAA space. So when I tell you that Clair Obscur Expedition 33 grabbed me by the throat from the jump and didn't let go for a single second of the 3.5 hour demo I played twice, believe me when I tell you, that's some powerful magic.
That is high praise, dude. This guy just waxed poetic for a minute straight about like how he's basically old and jaded and doesn't get like, you know, a kick out of, you know, video game writing anymore, and how this one really hit the spot. That's crazy, dude. That is crazy. All right, man. All right, let's see, man. I'm fucking excited. Let's do it.
Expeditioners, we do not take for granted.
So basically, what the premise of the game is that there's like a clock, and when you hit the age that the clock is at, you die. And I think like every so often, the year gets younger. So more and more people in humanity are dying. And it's just like killing millions and millions and millions of people at the same time or whatever. And so like they're running out of time to solve this problem as well.
That you dedicate your final year of life to keeping hope alive for all of Lumiere.
If you're
okay, so the expedition is full of the people that are going to die the next year. Dude, that's morbid. I love it, man. Oh, that's cool.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33
That's
has a
cool.
pretty fascinating setup. See, there's this being called the Paintress, and every year she paints a new number.
There it is.
When she does, every person of that age dies. Poof, vanishes, turns to dust. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. And the thing is, she's...
I love how, like, the way that they die is like Infinity War. It's like Thanos has done the snap, and, like, you know, they just fade away. That's cool.
Counting down. Every year, the people dying get younger. So every year, the people of Lumiere send a volunteer expedition of people with 1 year left to live on a desperate, impossible, doomed mission.
This is cool.
They go to the continent across the sea and kill the Paintress, so she can never paint death again.
You battle the Paintress. Know that Lumiere fights with you.
You'll find journals from Expedition 84, so if you can do the math in your head, you'll get how desperate this whole thing is.
Yeah, they've been doing this for 50 years.
The average RPG protagonist, your characters are.
Learn from the ones who came before.
And lay the trail for the ones who come after.
Things
This is
get
cool,
weirder
man.
Once your crew lands on the continent, they almost immediately run into an old man who nearly dispatches the whole expedition single-handedly.
Oh, damn. Oh, he just chopped someone's head off.
One of the survivors, traumatized and alone, walking through countless corpses from other expeditions and...
Yeah, this one's turn-based.
He's about to shoot himself when he's found by Lune, another member of the expedition.
You do that. We both die.
She's not blind to reality. They're probably both going to die.
Chad, senior citizen. Yeah, somehow he survived.
When one falls, we continue.
As long as one of them stands, their fight isn't.
It'll be funny if he's not actually old. He's like 20 years old, but he's like so freaking jaded, and he's like smoked like 40 packs of cigarettes a day. He just looks like he's 40. That would be really funny.
Over. Lune and Gustav clearly care about one another, but they don't always get along. When they find an unsigned message indicating another member of Expedition 33, Mael, might still be alive, Gustav wants to drop everything and try to save her, and then get out of Dodge. Lune is worried that the whole thing is a trap. Expedition members are always supposed to sign their messages.
We have to go.
No,
Interesting.
not yet.
At one point, later on, Lune asks Gustav if he's a coward because he just wants to get Mael and get out. He's not. He's just dealing with watching almost everyone he knows die. And Lune, she's the one that said they should land on that beach in the first place. Neither one of them has it easy. These characters are
So they're both going like
they're
through survivor's guilt and stuff
Come
as
on,
well.
we always said the future of Lumiere is more important than
Any individual life, yes.
Do you still believe that?
They don't always agree. They're dealing with guilt and loss and trauma, and they're not always kind to one another in the heat of the moment. But they care about each other. And at the end of
The premise of this game kind of reminds me of one of my favorite sci-fi movies. It's a lesser known one. But it has Chris Evans, Cillian Murphy, and like many other amazing actors and actresses. And it's called Sunshine. So it's an expedition to, I think, what amounts to restart the sun. Like the sun just stopped working, and they have to go off on this expedition. There's like 15 of them or 10 of them or something like that, and they just go through hell getting there. And they know that if they fail, humanity's dead. Like, it's done. And there's no second chance. There's no other spaceship that can go. Nothing. So slowly, one by one, they're all like basically making the ultimate sacrifice at the end of whatever personal journey each one of them has to make sure that the mission can go forward just a little bit longer. And it is, oh man, it's some powerful shit. And this gives me that same feeling, man. I like it. I like
that
this.
exchange.
This does look well written.
Down, they share a laugh.
This does look well written.
Really?
Compelling characters are complex and flawed, and Expedition 33 seems to understand that.
That's cool. That's rare. That's rare in video games. That's
Even
true.
If they weren't, Expedition 33 could probably skate by on the world. My demo was fairly linear. There were branching paths with hidden grapple points, platforming, goodies, and secrets to find, and tough optional bosses to take on.
Interesting.
This isn't an open world game.
So this is going to be more like, I guess, like Final Fantasy 16's level of, open world or lack of open world, which is not bad. I mean, Final Fantasy 16 for what it was really, really, really good.
And it's better for it.
Yeah.
Expedition 33 reminds me of Final Fantasy X.
Wait, she can
These
fly?
environments may be linear, but they're gorgeous. Whether you're standing atop a hill looking at the indigo tree,
So she's
or
like,
both
she has some
underwater
powers.
and somehow not, Expedition 33 is a visual feast. And I stopped in every environment
This does look beautiful. Like, look at this, man. This is really cool. There's like a ship. It's like being attached by the anchor. It's floating. This looks cool, man. This looks really cool.
entered to marvel at the beauty and composition on display. There's even a world map you traverse to get from place to place, like the RPGs of old.
Nice!
What really hooked me, however, was the combat.
Okay, so this is like Persona combat. So this definitely gives me some Persona feel. And I like Persona's combat, so I don't mind this at all. Reminds me of the Monster Hunter World level? Yeah, exactly, a little bit. Yeah, Jacka.
Clair Obscur may be turn-based, but it's not
Good morning,
a
Miss
D&D
Lily.
menu. There's a lot of depth here.
Ooh.
Every character...
Wait a second. Timed strikes? Legend of the Dragoon, anyone? That's a Legend Dragoon little Little Mark, man. All right, that's one of the best RPGs ever made. That's good. I like that.
Character has a melee and ranged attack, the latter of which must be aimed manually.
Oh,
Melee
and
attacks
manual
use
aiming.
AP,
That's
and
weird.
Ranged attacks spend it. You'll also need AP for skills, unique attacks that each character has in their arsenal.
Huh.
And on top of that, each character has a particular attribute. Gustav can use certain skills to build up stacks of overcharge, which he can spend to cash out for a devastating attack. Lune's spells grant elemental stains that can supercharge her other spells for additional effects and damage.
Synergies.
And my favorite, Mael, you do rescue her. This isn't a spoiler. She's in Clair Obscur's trailers. Can switch between 3 different stances, offering buffs to attack.
So Mael stances, defensive stance, offensive stance, virtuoso stance. Okay, interesting. Huh.
AP generation and defense. Managing your AP.
Is it only 3 characters?
And planning
enemy design, enemy design, dude. This guy is like a robot that looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man a little bit, and he has a trash can on his head. Sounds weird, but I love it. This is fucking weird as shit. I like that.
Matters. Like FF10, the turn order is displayed
on and he has the giant backpack.
the left side of the screen, so you can plan every turn in advance, but strategy is only half the battle. The other half is moment-to-moment execution. You don't just choose an option and wait for a canned animation to play out. When an enemy attacks you, you can dodge, parry, or jump to avoid.
Yep. This is like Mario RPG or Legend Dragoon. Both of those games had this kind of system. This is cool. I like this.
Avoid it. Dodging avoids attacks, while parrying nets you a potentially huge counterattack and awards AP, but has a tighter window.
I will always parry.
Sometimes the only way out is to jump over something.
Oh,
Sure,
you even have a
can
jump
engage
button.
in
Oh,
the
that's
primary
cool.
tradition of blocking with your face, but the harder fights are going to force you to engage with these defensive
Huh.
mechanics. And if you parry an attack that hits your whole squad, all of them strike back in a beautifully choreographed counterattack that never gets old.
That's really cool. I like that. That is actually really fucking cool. High risk and high reward in a turn-based RPG. That's rare, dude. This might be the best RPG, like turn-based RPG that comes out this year. Like, I mean, there aren't that many turn-based RPGs that come out anymore. I'm not gonna lie. This is really cool.
Early on, I ran into a very powerful enemy who could kill my characters in a single hit. But the thing was, he had to hit me. If I could parry him,
just
I could
full
win.
parry
It took
forever.
me a couple tries on my first run. He had a trick.
This is gonna really suck for me because the thing that I'm worst at in Dark Souls is parrying. So yeah, I've played every single Dark Souls game. I played a gigantic amount of Elden Ring as well, and I just go dodge and big weapon usually, because I don't know how to parry well. This is gonna suck for me, man. But I'm down, man. I'm down.
To parry or dodge twice in a row, but once I figured out I could parry the first hit and dodge the second, I managed to take him down.
Oh, there you go. That's cool. Prior proper planning.
Then there's the back-end stuff called Pictos and Luminas. You can equip up to 3 Pictos to any character, which provides buffs, like shooting this enemy might light them on fire, or attacks do more damage.
This kind of feels a little bit like the materia system, but like, with definitely big differences. This is cool. I like this.
Or
materia in Final Fantasy VII, you could equip skills and you could equip modifiers to the skills. So, quad attack, and then you can do like revenge. So every time you do revenge, which is like, every time you get hit, you do an attack, but you do quad attack instead. So, yeah, okay, this is cool. I like this.
Killing an enemy grants
materia
more
system
AP,
in 7 was really fun.
As well as stat upgrades. Win enough battles with a Picto equipped, and you can have everyone else equip its effects, minus the stat bonuses. And this is where you can do some really degenerate stuff. Sure, Mael has a skill that puts her in Virtuoso stance, where she does 200% damage if she uses it while an enemy is burning. Normally, you'd have to have somebody use another skill to set this up. But what if you gave Gustav and Lune a Lumina that means their ranged attacks are likely to set enemies on fire?
Then you don't... Okay, that's cool. So there's a lot of synergies you can make.
Cranks up your base attack damage, or that awards more AP for nailing a parry, allowing you to stay on the offensive longer than you'd normally be able to. Then you're cooking with gas.
This enemy is also really cool. He's like a big, like, hulking monster that kind of looks like a clown, but with, like, fur all over his head. This is very weird enemies, and I love it. Yeah, I agree with you. 10 out of 10 enemy design, Jacka.
Combine all of that, and battles offer a lot of interesting choices. If someone's low on health, do you spend an item or AP to bring them back?
I think this is a really cool thing for a lot of people who don't like turn-based games as well. Because, like, there's a lot of, like, you know, some of my friends, they stay away from turn-based RPGs. A lot of large content creators don't like turn-based RPGs. They just feel it'll be too slow. This kind of feels like a very, very, like, middle ground system. It has action moments to it. It rewards, you know, being able to press buttons at the right time. So it rewards timing, it rewards rhythm, it rewards all those things. But is also turn-based as well, technically. So this is like a really good middle ground. I really think that's cool. I think that's a really, really interesting way to do it.
Back up, or do you bet it all on dodging or parrying the next attack? How do you level up your characters? Who gets what skill as a Picto so they can stack the right stats and they don't have to spend Lumina points to get that effect? And on it goes. And through it all, Expedition 33 is constantly finding new ways to make itself interesting.
Okay.
What's a Gestrel, and why is Lune obsessed with them? Who is the Paintress?
He's cute.
And what
That's
does she
why.
want?
Like a dog.
Why is the world the way that it is? Are all these beings actually hostile? Some of them seem pretty friendly, and you have the
Wait, is that a reference to the Onion Knight? This kind of feels like a reference to the Onion Knight. You know, he's just sitting down. He's got a giant weapon, huge armor, and he's just chilling. And he seems like a nice guy. That is Dark Souls Onion Knight all over it, man. One of the best characters in all of Dark Souls.
option to fight them or leave them alone. What's the deal with that old man? How does any of this stuff work? In my demo, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 didn't stop to explain itself, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, Sigward, yeah, I just call him Onion Knight. Yeah.
I was more invested in what was going on as a result. Most importantly, I could never predict what would happen next. By the time Thank You for Playing came up on my screen at the end of my demo, I was thoroughly hooked.
An unpredictable storyline in a video game in the year of our Lord 2025. That's actually crazy. Like, I mean, I thought I was going to have to play Death Stranding to find one of those. But, like, this is like a small company that made this game. This is like this is not even a AAA. This is more like a AA. You know, it feels AAA-ish quality. But definitely, like, this is not like Ubisoft, EA, Microsoft, Sony. This is not one of the big boys making this at all. It's like a random company.
On my second run-through, I found even more hidden areas, and laid the smack down in one of the optional fights that had flummoxed me the first time around.
Flummoxed. Nice. Good SET
When
word.
my time with Clair Obscur Expedition 33 was up, I wasn't ready to stop. I wanted to fight more battles, learn more about the world, and spend more time with these characters.
That's cool, man.
Sandfall Interactive is a new studio, but you'd never know this was their first game from playing it.
It's quality.
Surprise, conviction, curiosity. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 nails all three. It had my interest before I played it. Now it has my undivided attention.
That's very high praise. I mean, I like that, dude. Sometimes it's these small companies that aren't attached to a giant studio that can really produce something really special. I like that.
Sandfall can stick the landing that was put together.
Lost Odyssey? I have no idea what Lost Odyssey is.
Check out our recent previews of Jump Ship.
It said it's a
Neighbors,
spiritual
Suburban
successor to Lost
Warfare.
Odyssey. Does
And for
anyone know
everything
Lost
else in
Odyssey?
gaming, keep it here.
I've never heard of
at
that.
IGN.
What is with sci-fi and hand monsters, man? Dude, these sci-fi games love their hand monsters. I don't know why. Dark Souls had hand monsters too. Golly. Well, Elden Ring did. Man, the hand monsters are always creepy as shit, man. This looks really cool, dude. Yeah, both of these were really good IGN previews, both this and Atomfall. I'm shocked. These are some of the best IGN previews I've ever seen. D26 Bags, thank you so much for the 1,000 biddies. You're amazing. Actually, 2,000 biddies. Holy shit, dude. Thank you, my friend. From the bottom of my heart, Vex. Dude, thank you so much, man. Welcome. It's so good to see you. So good to have you in here. We love you tons. And now we've been looking up game trailer after game trailer after game trailer. And one thing I realized is that, dude, all of these games that we're looking at tonight and last night, all 5 of them were like survival, sci-fi, horror-esque, very, very heavy narrative and mystery style games, which I thought this genre was kind of dead. Like, I haven't seen some of these games, like game types, in a long time, you know, the likes of the BioShocks and so on and so forth. And now all of a sudden we're getting like 5 in the same year. This is crazy. I love it. What do you guys think of Clair Obscur Expedition 33? Definitely like a different take on turn-based RPG. Obviously, it's like more of an action hybrid system, but the storyline looks great to me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys think, and definitely share this with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Chat, what do you guys think of Clair Obscur? This looks really cool, man. All of these games look really fucking cool. Like, I'm actually shocked. And both of these Atomfall and Clair Obscur, the previews by
journey through the
IGN,
countryside.
Sorry,
AKA
the previews by IGN, which are usually not that good. Both of these previews were insane. Like, they were really high quality previews, which means that they, you know, IGN doesn't have only bad journalists and they don't have only good journalists, but this journalist had the sauce, and so did the Clair Obscur guy. Everything up to this point looks amazing, right? Holy shit, man. I'm shocked.